Let's say, let me double check you guys, but I think we're rocking and rolling. Yep, we're rocking and rolling. So welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where we come to understand the economic impact and potential of blockchain technology. My name is Lucas.
And my name is Ryan.
I'm Jacob.
And we got the crew here for your Monday weekly cryptocurrency updates and the live stream. If you got any questions, drop it in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button so that you're notified. We got a lot of great news, a lot of good news to talk about going on in the world, a lot of good news going on in cryptocurrency and with Ethereum. So yeah, happy Monday, welcome. And without further ado, shall we start where we always start with a quick little market recap, market update, gentlemen?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So I guess Ryan, you and I were talking about this earlier, but what cannot be denied as we look at the top few cryptos over the last few days? Has there been one that's just
Hex has stood out.
Hex?
Which is awesome because we've talked about Hex from day one, so it's something that's been on our radar, and we've seen it kind of grow and grow. I remember when it was under a penny, and now here we are closing in on 20 cents. And it's had a run. It's had quite a run.
Hex is one of those beautiful projects that you look at. It's only a couple years old. It's a baby, and it's a DeFi project built on the Ethereum protocol. Very similar. We see Jacob representing with the Wise token hoodie and the sweater. They're very similar. Many people consider one to be more like a bond and one to be more like a CD, or because of the ways you can attach to the help me say this, get it out of my mouth. Because of the way that you can scrape interest, because of the way that you can actually have access to the dividends, to the interest on one and not the other. So small differences. But what we're talking about this is really cool to see how smart contracts that are automated with no third parties on Ethereum are able to grow. What Hex has done over the last couple of years is remarkable. It's definitely one of the top performers in cryptocurrency, and it's founded by another one of the OGs, Richard Hart, who's got a channel with a lot of great information, puts a lot of time talking about crypto and Bitcoin. It has for some time.
Big personality, you would say, right?
Definitely. But as you were saying, but as you were saying, Dash, which has also been around. Does anybody know what's causing the latest 20% bump in Dash? I mean, we've been fans of Dash and a lot of the community and the members behind the team behind Dash. They were there at Voice and Exit representing at that concert,
giving away some free Dash, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Some of their OGs were there representing that you'll see on the Dash network. But they were really great people, and they were reaching out. It was just one of those projects, and they're into privacy transactions. They're into cheap transactions. They're not meant to be, at least haven't been, smart contract platform. This is a proof of work, hybrid, cheap transaction, super fast system that's ready to rock. That's really where they shine, is the how many is it the TPS, how many transactions per second, the TPS that they can handle. They're pretty swift. I mean, they're ready for larger adoption than others. So I am curious to know what is behind this recent, but at the moment I don't. And as Ecomi, as I know, that's an NFT play. Have y'all heard of Ecomi?
I've seen it, obviously on the page, but I haven't looked into it. I don't know much about them.
As I understand, Ecomi is an NFT play. I'm positive that's what it is. So, not surprised. We got some news to talk about, bullish news on NFTs as well.
Yes.
But overall, other than
not a pretty picture.
Not a pretty day in the market overall.
No.
We go back.
And why is that? It's mostly driven by what's going on in the.
Let's actually get into this. And our first article up, we did talk about there's definitely a connection between crypto markets and traditional finance. We can't escape that we live in a world where the economies are all connected, and heavily correlated. So when we see a depression, or when we see sell-offs and problems happen in traditional finance, well, that means that there's not as much wealth and there's not as much liquidity to invest and to pour into blockchain, into the crypto market. So it's no surprise that when we see a downturn in traditional finance, that we're still going to see a downturn in crypto.
Yeah,
and with that being said, I'll let you take over, brother.
Okay, yeah. So there's a good article on MarketWatch that kind of covers what's going on, but essentially the headline gives you a clue. It says that economic growth is now a bigger worry than inflation, and what's essentially going on is that COVID, the resurgence in COVID is spooking investors, and there's sell-offs, and across the market, 2% roughly in transportation and travel and leisure kind of took the brunt of it, but it was a pretty broad sectoral sell-off. So, and then bonds, people are moving into bonds and looking for a safe haven, right? And that's pushing down interest rates. And the dollar, oddly enough, even strengthened by a small amount today. So, what's going on is that that crypto essentially is kind of trading like another risk asset, like a stock or like a security. So as the dollar weakens, it strengthens the play. People move out of dollars and they get into things that are risky assets, because they want to have that's where they expect to have yield or growth. But the opposite happens when fear enters the market, and questions about future growth become arise. Then you want safety, and people move out of risk assets, and they move out of stocks, and they're going to move out of cryptocurrencies too. So, and the other reason why you link these together is because of how much maturing has happened in the crypto space, right? You've seen all of these big Wall Street investment and hedge funds and old banks, and the establishment has moved into the crypto space heavily in the last year and a half. So as their exposure to crypto increases, crypto's exposure to their world increases, because they're bridging these together, right? And when you're leveraged and you take positions that aren't profitable, and you have to raise capital, raise cash, then you're going to liquidate whatever's in your portfolio, and crypto is now part of that portfolio. So there's clear links. And the best thing to do. Oh, go ahead.
And you mentioned that we're looking at not just the Federal Reserve, but we're looking at coordinated action by central banks around the world. So we're like it says here, while the Federal Reserve isn't rushed to pull back on bond buying or raise interest rates, a pullback in monetary stimulus is in sight, and other major central banks, including the European Central Bank and Bank of Canada, are also looking toward reducing stimulus efforts. So we're not just looking at one country reducing; we're looking at coordinated.
Right.
A coordinated reduction of stimulus. Pardon me.
Yep.
Which was,
and it also talks about the infrastructure bill that's kind of stalling in the Congress.
Right.
So there's it's kind of a perfect storm.
The perfect storm, but it's being created. We're seeing like the banks communicate with each other. The Federal Reserve, central banking system in Canada and in United States, they're not without communication. They literally work on an international banking cartel of sorts, which is how the current traditional, which I guess you could say this is a great point to one of the flaws in the current monetary system, right? That you have that's a systemic it's a risk for sure, when you can have all the power to decide the interest rates and the amount of flow, the liquidity, the flow of money to the populations around the world can be cartelled and coordinated in some kind of an oligopoly where people,
And now you're no longer just figuring out what's the future market conditions going to look like, but you also have to factor in what are the future plans of these different banks and how they're going to respond with interest rate policy and various other things, and that can be. It's a whole other question. It complicates things big time.
Is there more you want to cover in this article? I'm definitely going to leave a link as I do.
The stagflation point at the middle of it, towards the end, I guess.
There we go.
Something to look at. Yeah, it says that fears of stagflation could rise if COVID infections continue to increase. Meanwhile, consumer prices continue to go up. right? Well, that's hard to see the narrative to push prices up further if consumers are not able to go out and spend because of there's lockdowns or people are or for whatever reason. So, but I guess it could easily see that's the obvious thing to look at though is stagflation. Like what happens when too much money chases too few goods and you get a simultaneous unemployment situation where there's people who a large number of people who don't have a job, so the production side is stagnant, but the monetary side keeps spending, and you got money chasing more and more money being spent and circulating. You're chasing a smaller amount of real goods. So yeah, I think it's a stagflation narrative could be something to look at, and that would be very good for Bitcoin, obviously, because that'd be big time weakness in the dollar.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We should mention one quick thing because we've got us Devin Marty. Devin dropped in to say hello. What's up, Devin? And we were going to add this to our. Why don't we just say right now? Look, if you're into podcasts, if you like a podcast, you got to check out specificknowledge.net. Philosophy for the new wave. You know a little bit about this, Ryan?
Yeah, a little bit. I know a couple fellows involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's every Tuesday. It's hosted and run by Devin, and you and I have been joining up with him, and it's overall just talking about the market. It's a podcast dedicated to exploring how people coordinate and build in a dynamic world. We talk about just more nuances to economics and the role of knowledge. We get a little deeper.
One layer, one step deeper, right?
Yep. So I guess, boom, there's a picture of Devin right there. And Devin is the author of The Decision-Making Employee, where he takes a lot of these concepts of knowledge and applies it to the business framework and how to use it in actual decision-making in the real world. So, and of course, his connection. Jacob, go ahead and pop it again because we know that
Wise.
Devin is the strategic development for Wise Soft, and he's just a beautiful man that does a lot of beautiful work in blockchain and crypto, and he just works and is all about sharing knowledge and bringing people together. So there's a little shout out. Thank you, Devin, for bringing Ryan and I into that, and we look forward to meeting up with you mañana. You guys check it out if you want to get into the conversation a little bit deeper, right?
Fun.
Moving along, how about some of this bullish news?
Story. This is a good one. So yeah, they're essentially you can just file this under promises kept, right? That's kind of how I read it.
Yep. And what's the promise? Yeah, so Binance, which is one of the largest exchanges and intermediaries, I should say, for people to bridge between traditional finance and crypto. And still, I think they provide some of the largest amount of liquidity and gateways worldwide. And what are they doing to help?
So yeah, they pledged to burn 20% of all their quarterly earnings from the form of their Binance BNB tokens, right? And it's just to make up for some lost. There was some developers that lost, some mistakes were made, and there was some BNB coins that were lost. And this is a kind of like a way to at least just it reduces the value every time you just burn coins. You're increasing the value of the other coins that remain. So this is kind of like a gift to the people holding BNB.
And I heard bullish news on the BNB stable coin, the BUSD, not being subjected to the same flaws that Tether or maybe some others may have when U.S. regulation comes in. So, Binance just continues to be a pioneer when it comes to providing blockchain services and an infrastructure for cryptocurrency in the world. I mean, that's just good news when you see Binance following through, CZ continuing to take Binance to the next level and supporting the prices, supporting the growth and the success of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Crypto market reacts,
Oh yeah.
And
something that's interesting too is they actually just Wise Token just recently announced that they're increasing the weekly airdrops on your staking for WiseV. So that's super cool.
I was just about to say Binance in the Binance Smart Chain one of the top chains, like you said, is another one of the chains that Wise Token is bridged and works with, which Harmony, Ethereum, Binance, and soon to be Casper. I mean, it's it's good to see projects that work, and that's one of the things. You read the white papers, you look at the teams, and you also look at the other collaborations and interoperability that projects do together. When you see teams working together, layer 2 solutions, different smart contract platforms building bridges, and you look at that they're building it with other big names, big players in the industry, in the market. Those are pros, those are pluses. That's what I look for. And exactly. But moving on, that's good. Thank you, CZ. Thank you, Binance. And thank you, Ryan, for pulling that article up. That's definitely bullish news to follow the traditional financial market news.
You know, Cardano has some bullish news we could go to next.
Actually, let's do that.
On your list.
Boom.
I really like that article you just had pulled up, though.
We're gonna go back to it. Yeah. We'll go right back to it. But let's do this because Cardano and we'll have to do it. You know, I know that a lot of the major crypto ambassadors and educators out there, the journalists, have been talking about this because you can't ignore Cardano. Cardano is one of the big triad of smart contract platforms. I mean, when I think the big three right now is Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano. Maybe, possibly, I mean, you could maybe something else, but they're up there at least in the top 5. Okay, and they're definitely built from the founders of Ethereum. We got Gavin for Polkadot and Charles. Gavin Woods, Polkadot, Charles, I always pronounce his name. Hodgkins. Not Hodgkin's disease. I've got my Charles H. You know that guy. They were all behind the beginning of Ethereum. So if you're learning about the history of crypto and the minds and who were these young men that were building these technologies out 10 years ago, 15, these are the same guys that have split off and are improving and building other solutions. Those who could see the flaws of the Ford Model T were the same people who could build the next variation that had better tires or better transmission or more efficient gas. So, here we go. Cardano, being a top player, has been one of the top growers. Well, I go back to the market. Look, Cardano, boom, is number 6 in market cap, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying here. Cardano's a big player. And Cardano has had one of the most successful growth of all cryptos in the last year. It's had a phenomenal year, and it's been around for a long time. And because one of the reasons it's had a phenomenal year is because of all the milestones that it's been making. A lot of people thought it was doing nothing and nothing was going on. Well, this last year, Cardano's been actually fulfilling, just like you said, Binance. We pulled up that article. How about people are fulfilling their promises? What a beautiful year. People are following through with roadmaps and obligations, and developments are happening because what this is Cardano completing another milestone and being closer to having advanced smart contracts, having DeFi, having that ecosystem that people enjoy on Ethereum and others going live and soaking up, absorbing liquidity and investment and supporting networks like they've been talking with governments in Africa. We're talking about these networks actually being used to facilitate communication, to improve economies, to actually be used for transactions. And all right, there's my big introduction. But now with this article, let's talk about what you pulled up, brother.
Yeah, well, they have a series of upgrades they're working on. They're called the Alonzo upgrades, and what they've done is they've forked the testnet. Excuse me. They forked their Alonzo testnet, and they're creating its own node, and it's called the Alonzo White node. Mm-hmm. And essentially, it makes it to where they can do more elaborate and complicated smart contracts, and like you said, it opens up to DeFi on Cardano. So it's this is going to be the first of a series. There's, I think, 4 or 5, I'm not mistaken, and it'll be finished in September. So this is very bullish for Cardano, like you said. It's already had a great year, and this is just more development that makes people who hold ADA glad they did.
And we say DeFi. I know a lot of people that watch or listen that I talk to, they're very new to crypto, or they're still learning. And DeFi is slang short term for decentralized finance. So I like the article that you pulled up because it actually explains it. DeFi applications allow two counterparties to exchange capital or assets without an intermediary. Right. And that's what we're talking about in this world of DeFi. Unlike in traditional finance where you have a broker, you have a brokerage firm, you have intermediaries that are open and closed Monday through Friday. They've got the banking hours, they've got the market hours, and you have to go through others in order to move and make decisions with your own assets. When you work in when you bridge over into the cryptocurrency digital asset world of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blockchain technology, now one is able to make decisions, exchange all these capital assets without the third party, and earn interest without. That's why you get into Wise Token, you get into Hex, you get into other projects, and even if you use centralized finance like Celsius and other protocols, you could even willingly give a portion of your crypto up to earn interest on your crypto, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stable coins. So decentralized finance are those applications that allow you to make those exchanges on networks on your own at fractions of a penny, at whatever you want, whatever amount you want, and that's the allure and one of the strengths. So having Cardano mature is actually allowing for this DeFi market to mature, because we all see that when Ethereum gets too much action on the network, what happens to gas fees? They go up. And if Polygon is getting too glutted up, and Matic, and they also get glutted up, and they can only do so much. That's why there's room for more layer 2 solutions. There's room for more smart contract platforms. Do you consider it a competition when there's 4 or 5 lanes on a highway, or are they just 4 or 5 lanes that are helping people get from point A to point B? And I feel that really when we start looking at a lot of these big platforms, it's not who's going to win. It's going to be which ones are going to be the predominant lanes that people are traveling on and using for sending stable coins or locking up certain projects and operating on smart contracts.
Yeah, it's not this or that. There's room for all of them. As long as they're sound protocols, there's room.
And I guess, as they say, Cardano's Alonzo plans should help the company compete with Ethereum, whose blockchain underpins the majority of existing DeFi applications and smart contract platforms. Which, just to give people a quick perspective, one of our favorite sites that we like to share with people, and that's on our a link from our website, which send us good vibrations that we get around to having that edit up in the next week. But DeFiPulse.com, just to get a perspective of the role Ethereum plays. I like how Aave used to be Ethereum, now it's multi-chain because they're layer 2. So even though Polygon is off Ethereum, they consider Aave a multi-chain. Have you seen that, Jacob?
I see that.
Yeah, I get it. It's like how Wise is also kind of a multi-chain. You take part in multiple
yeah, but Wise is off of more than Ethereum and Polygon. They're also on Binance. They're also on Harmony One, Viper Swap on their exchange, and with others. So, but that's cool that they're considering layer 2 solutions another chain, because technically they are other chains.
Yeah.
But look at the dominance that Ethereum plays. I still consider Polygon quasi Ethereum, even though it is its own chain. It totally is a layer 2, but it's not its own smart contract platform. It's a layer 2,
Right.
Yeah.
It's still in the ecosystem, right?
Exactly. Although, I'm wondering, I say that, but maybe these chains like Polygon can actually do their layer 2 stuff that you do with Polkadot and Cardano. I can now. I'm assuming that a layer 2 should be able to be more interoperable than an actual smart contract platform. Like Ethereum is Ethereum, but Polygon, Matic can be like, yeah, well, we can have our chain work our books with the Ethereum's blockchain, and also with Polkadot or with Harmony One. Or is that what were you going to say, Jacob? Did you have a little something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's super interesting you bring that up because the nickname for Matic is the Internet of Blockchains.
Aha.
It's trying to bridge other chains by being a side chain to not just Ethereum, but eventually even branching out further.
Yes, 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 which is what the layer twos do. They started out with Ethereum because Ethereum is where all the action was, but the whole point of a layer two is to actually provide off-chain solutions for multiple chains.
Exactly. But you can see clearly that Ethereum has got the dominant
just dominating.
space.
So that's that. But moving on, did we talk about Polygon launches?
Not yet.
Okay.
This would be a good segue, so let's do it.
Let's do it. Because we were just talking about Polygon. Polygon
exactly.
being a layer 2 solution, and also, well, that just worked out perfectly, huh? Not only is Matic working to build with different chains on their layer 2 for off-chain solutions, but they're working to grow the gaming and NFT category. What do you guys know about this story?
I love the gaming space within the whole blockchain space. There's a few games that I play. One of my favorites is Lost Relics, but that's still kind of early access. There's still bugs to the game. You know what I mean? Everything's still super early.
Yeah.
So the thing about these games is everything's up for grabs. There are still companies that haven't been developed. There are still games that haven't been made. There's still promises that are up in the air. And sometimes it comes crumbling down. If you have no developers working on your games, well then what you're selling someone is an empty house that you don't own it. And so that's kind of the double-edged sword that I find with some of these games is you really have to be looking at how is the game going to be built? Is there going to be an in-game economy? Is there going to be an NFT system that's built in within that in-game system? And how does that in-game economy actually function? Because when you look at it from like a backed up, out-of-picture perspective, the NFT gaming space is kind of the perfect way to onboard people into crypto. Gamers are going to have a very easy time coming in and understanding crypto because they're already doing that in World of Warcraft. They're already doing that in StarCraft. They understand economics. So bringing them into this space is going to be a huge wave of new investors. I truly do believe that. And
you're right about that. They're primed for it because they're already tech savvy and they're used to thinking about gaming and acquiring resources in games and using money or time to do that. So it's like there's an ecosystem that's already there, just waiting to be tokenized.
And in this world that we live in, make no mistake, the gaming industry is known worldwide for being exponentially larger than Hollywood in the entertainment industry of the past. So what people used to look at movies and cinema as being the big money maker for entertainment, for quite some time, the gaming industry has made billions more than the movie industry has made. And looking at, like you said, Jacob, they're poised and perfect for what NFTs can do. NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You look at games that people are playing together around the world. These Web 2 games like World of Warcraft, and items that people were already selling to each other and characters that were being made. Now, if you can now bring in items and characters and artifacts that are non-fungible and that are unique, and just like something on Sotheby's or just like something on Rareables, is people will know that this item is something that there are only 100 of or only 1,000 of in the whole world for all the thousands of people playing the game. That is definitely something that, like you said, people in the gaming industry already can appreciate the economics of it, the value of it, and they're there with the time and the energy and the money to interact. So when I look at this article, I'm seeing this bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 gaming. And that's really kind of what I see here, this Web 3 gaming. We're talking about the future of gaming being connected to the value that can be earned and stored on the blockchain. Because people want your time and your energy. So whatever popular game could be associated with Ethereum or Cardano or Polkadot, and it can have people with their NFTs trading on their network. It's going to add value to that network as well. I mean, so I would assume.
If you scroll down, there was an interesting story on that same article about Polygon putting up prize money. Prize money for a esports tournament.
Have you read that yet?
I clicked on it and looked through it a little bit.
I've read that a little bit.
What did you guys come to?
Honestly, it's pretty fun. I mean, they're incentivizing
10,000
more people to come into this space, to interact in this space, and by interacting, you're being rewarded. You're being incentivized, and it feels good knowing, hey, I'm competing with a small group of people, and as long as I'm good in this space, I can still place. Because it's so early. The people you're competing with, I mean, you might have someone who's not really good at a game or at this point where they're still learning, and you completely understand it. Everyone has different levels of understanding, so depending on where you're at, I mean...
I know that I like this picture of the remotes. That I don't know if anybody else knows, but this resonates with me. This is what I remember being a gaming system right here. So, but I don't know, J-Part, did you read the J-Part shouted out a little comment about why he's skeptical about Polygon adding NFTs as an, he's saying that if they're adding NFTs as an afterthought, that it might not work, that the game has to be built from the ground up with the economy of the game and the tokenomics in balance.
Exactly. I think that the most important part that they have to understand about this gaming space is it's not like games of the past. You're not just making a storyline. You're building something with an actual in-game economy that is going to be able to decouple from Ethereum, let's say, or decouple from whatever asset class it is. You want your in-game economy to have a positive feedback loop, so that way people can have that. You want to have something like how EVE Online, I don't know if you guys have heard of EVE Online, but they basically have these massive starship battles where their assets are their starships, and they're thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and people are fighting with these starships that if they go down, that's it. It's done. It doesn't exist. But they can't claim the value from that game. Imagine if you could play these games that have built-out economies like EVE Online, like World of Warcraft, where you could take these items and you could redeem them for crypto. That's essentially what we're looking for, and we've yet to find anybody who's really made anything super innovative on the economic side of a game. And until that happens, I just don't see myself doing anything other than just playing the games. I won't put money into any NFT games until I see something promising.
It's still early. NFTs are early, but the concept and the building blocks are there, and people are already. You know, what was that Alice neighborhood? Wasn't there an Ethereum NFT game that they're working to build? There's Alice. So that, you know, I think, you know, who knows where these things are at a year or two from now as they're trying to, you know, innovate and actually create, like you said, a functional game that has successfully put NFTs that can be brought in and out of the game. Basically, you have to be able to take this in and out of the game. The gaming ecosystem. From wallet to wallet. This has value outside of the game.
Yeah, it's definitely pointing towards a direction to make it a whole lot more interesting to be a gamer, right?
Oh yeah,
we have
paid to play games.
And you know, you look at, like, not to get all too out. You look at like movies like The Matrix or other things where at the end of the day, everything's about taking the people's energy, not taking it, but we all have energy, whether we use it for this job or at home, for our family, or outside for a garden. Your energy is limited, and so right now these networks are trying to attract, to make it as enticing as they can, to bring people to their network, to bring liquidity to their decentralized exchange. We want volume. We want population. We want
eyeballs.
Yeah, we want to grow in value. So, I don't know why
this is a strategy for doing that.
Absolutely, and that's why giving $10,000 away and coming up with games and incentives, that's also why people are finding these ridiculous. I mean, not ridiculous, but just a incredible deals. Very, very incredible deals when it comes to providing liquidity, when it comes to returns. That's because we're at a time right now where a lot of these tokens, a lot of these cryptos have marketing funds that they're spending and competing to get people to come to bring liquidity to their network and come do this. So it's a wild west, not just of crypto development, but it's also a wild west of opportunities for prizes and airdrops. Has anyone ever heard of an airdrop before? Okay, here's what an airdrop is. Imagine if you're in a world where new banks are opening up, and if you became a member of a bank for free just by opening up an account with your name on it, they would literally just come and give you a few $100s or $1,000. You wake up one day and found out, because you have a bank account with us, we decided to give you more money today from a new company that came onto our books. And that's basically how these others work. If you have a wallet and you are hooked up with our platform and we took a snapshot, we're going to give you more money today.
It's because they understand network effects, and the wider the distribution and the more people that are involved in the investment, and the more people holding that crypto, the better it is for the network, the more value there is. So yeah, it's airdrop. I always look out for airdrops.
I don't want to bypass. We got a lot of information to cover, and I want to go to the bullish news of what you pulled up with the nuclear power plants and crypto mining coming to America. But I also want to bypass JPAR, our brother from the same cosmic mother, who's been around the channel and Wise Token and crypto for a while. Has got some really good insights on NFT and gaming, and he's also saying, hey, there's a project called Steam. And he said that the Lightning Network, which, is actually, we go back to DeFi Pulse, the only thing that is not on Ethereum in this whole list is the Lightning Network right here for Bitcoin. And it's there for Bitcoin payments. So the Lightning Network is the layer 2 solution, you would say, that's on top of Bitcoin. That's exactly what it is. The Lightning Network is a layer 2 protocol on top of Bitcoin. Okay. That's nice. And he's basically saying that Steam, STEAM, is a protocol that allows people to bet small amounts of Bitcoin on a game. CSGO games. I don't know what CSGO. I'm not a gamer. I need to look that up. But and then El Salvador Bitcoin airdrop. That's hilarious. That's good. An El Salvador Bitcoin airdrop.
I need to switch my VPN onto El Salvador.
Oh my gosh, if that was possible. Okay.
Oh man.
Matt, that was a comment. I just read a comment where one of our buddies just made a joke about if you're in El Salvador and you have a Bitcoin address, you may be getting an airdrop. That's pretty funny. We're all moving to El Salvador for the airdrop.
Move to Wise too. They got airdrops.
Citizen airdrops. Can you see that? Citizen airdrops being, if citizens getting an airdrop. Well, they actually, what am I talking about? The Chinese Chinese government did that with the yuan. They practiced CBDC, central bank digital currency airdrops to their citizens. That's literally already been done in the last year or two. So
we've had that happen. Well, this is some optimistic news here. So one of the big criticisms that kind of punctuated or kind of started the correction in crypto was when Elon Musk started tweeting about how big the carbon footprint was of Bitcoin and how much energy it used. So this is this move towards renewable and nuclear powered crypto mining is sort of an answer to that, right? And as these sorts of developments continue, Bitcoin becomes more green, and then the underlying criticisms of that are keeping people from like Elon from accepting it and participating even further, they'll start to melt away.
Right? Did you say Elon?
That's his name. It's Elon.
Okay. Pardon me, I was laughing because I know that Crypto George, he's good at Elon. I thought that was.
He calls him Elon too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm pretty sure that's one of the few people that pronounces his name correctly.
Okay. Not
Not that it matters.
it's not Elon.
It could be.
Well,
I've always said Elon.
Yeah.
I thought as a joke, he made a joke that he was an Elon for.
That is exactly what it is. Yeah. But if you look at it, I don't know. Is that how he pronounces his name, or how?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna call him Elon.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
No, you're right. It is Elon. It's double. Yeah, I see it. E. Okay.
No, it's Elon. It's Elon.
It is. Elon.
Elon it is. And BitBoy calls him the muskrat, which is hilarious.
Hey, that's funny too. Yeah.
Elon Muskrat.
But yeah, so nuclear-powered crypto mining.
Nuclear-powered crypto mining. Isn't that great? And you know what? In the future, I'm sure there's a device you can put around your wrist or around your head, and while you're walking, the energy from your head or the movement from your arm or your body will also be mining this cryptocurrency or that cryptocurrency. You know. But anywhere you can tap in. There's sensors in the back and the front.
Yes. But yeah, I mean this is good to see the criticism being taken serious and people trying to figure out a workaround
and solutions. Yeah. So you mentioned this. There was what was it, CNN or there was a mainstream news article. Who was Ryan? We're talking about the NFTs for history. NFTs being used to document snapshots in history.
CNN, I think, was the first company I heard that were looking to do this. The news company.
Yeah, that's right. Like in the United States, like snapshots in history and all those like Time magazine articles or things that American history and pop culture have seen as major events over the times. This being turned into minted as NFTs in history. That basically.
Yeah, and they're replicating this in the South China Morning Post.
What's going on in the West is going on in the East, and what's going on in the East is what's going on in the West. We're seeing that in this worldwide economy, that everything is interconnected. As an advancement and development takes place in one chain or one part of the world, then you're going to see it parroted and mimicked and try to be improved upon everywhere else. I mean, this is just a rapid development time of just absolutely rapid development in blockchain.
They're partnering up with the Sandbox. The blockchain-based.
They're partnering up with Sandbox?
Yeah, I'm reading in the article right now.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Sandbox is one of the top NFT projects out there. Sandbox, Chili's, Sandbox, Decentralized, Engine Coin. I mean, there are some of these.
Oh, yeah.
If you were going to have a basket of NFT projects, these are some of the big names. Those are them. Ecomi, which is doing really well right now, that we showed in the early market recap. That's another NFT play.
I don't know if anybody knows, but has anybody seen Jack Ma in the last? I mean, I know he was missing a few months ago. That was the big story, is that he was. No one had seen him in public since he started becoming really vocal and criticizing some element of the Chinese Communist Party, and apparently he's. I don't know if is he popped up or not, but I'm just wondering because this is his newspaper.
Oh no, this is not saying that he's popped up. This is just saying his Morning Post.
Right.
So there's I forgot what you're saying. I don't watch a lot of mainstream news. You're right. I forgot. That's vaguely familiar. Maybe he's still missing. I've heard that.
Yeah, I think he is. From what I can tell, he's not. He hasn't popped up yet on the scene. So he's probably still, whatever, alive or in a cell somewhere. I don't know.
Jeez. All right, well, send good vibes to Jack Ma, because
yes,
hopefully as blockchain and technology continues to grow, we recognize that this whole throwing people in prison for a thought kind of a thing that's very 20th century, or
yeah,
it shouldn't even be that, but yeah, it's very it doesn't really make sense anymore. I mean, come on.
It's not done anymore.
That's silly. Yeah, let's
not do that.
What is this? Rootkit finance.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about that. I need to read more into them, but what jumped out at me from this, there's a quick article I think you see as well. They're doing a locked liquidity. They have they describe it as let me go to this section to get the exact words. High yield, highly deflationary yield farming token which uses permanently locked liquidity pools, and they're using Uniswap, and they're doing a liquidity generation event, and I believe they're pooling ETH. It's a 1 week Ethereum deposit period. So it's it's something to look at. Anytime people are locking up liquidity, I think we should take a look at that. That's notable.
Oh yeah.
And we actually want to do a video on this very soon, because locked liquidity is a very beautiful and new concept in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and in decentralized finance, and the viability, the security that it provides people entering into this economy, into this market, as replacing insurance, replacing safeguards that people are used to having in traditional finance. Locked liquidity is how we achieve transparency and security with this blockchain, with smart contracts,
without moral hazard and introducing all the other centralizing elements that we're trying to get away from, right?
Which is why we want to talk about Shiba Inu, what they're doing, Wise token, what it has and what it continues to do. And then look, just like Wise, a price floor. How many cryptos have a price floor? And now you're hearing with Rootkit, thirdly, there is the price floor. So we're seeing a new class of cryptocurrencies. We're seeing different classes of cryptos come about that they're built very well. I mean, when we see rug pulls and we see hacks and different issues, people who can go into a project and know that when they join a community, they are guaranteed that they cannot lose their shorts, that they're guaranteed that even in a downturn, there's an amount of liquidity that's locked, that's protecting their investment and protecting what they've come in with. So, because many projects, do y'all remember the name of that website that shows the graveyard of crypto projects? But is much wealth can be generated and made by being a part of a community that grows quickly in crypto. There are many projects that are dead in the water, that are gone, and that weren't built well, whether it was intentionally or just bad tokenomics, and they're gone. And so not all crypto projects are equal. That's why
the Rootkit website has a really good aesthetic. If you like that mid '90s Windows.
What's their ticker?
I think you can get it in the link if you just go to the article.
It looks like their ticker is Root, ROOT.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, I just checked out their website. It's pretty interesting looking.
Okay, let's check it out. And they are on the Ethereum network, obviously.
It looks like you can get it from Uniswap.
Yes.
Very cool.
About Rootkit, highly advanced new DeFi protocol, and let's go right to their website while we're here. Might as well. There's that matrix looking. Okay, well that's cool.
Windows
I really like their website. That's so cool.
Me too. That's why I wanted to show you. I thought it would be cool to take a look at it.
Neat. All right. Well, check it out. None of this is financial advice. As you know, this is an educational information channel. We're all learning and understanding this together. So if you know about Rootkit and you want to drop us some more info as we study up on it, feel free to send us a message or let us know in the comments, because we will be happy to share that as we understand. But looking at something that has a price floor and all the transparency, I love seeing the smart contract protocol locking liquidity and providing that security for people in crypto. I really feel that in the next year, that's going to be one of the major, not a milestone, but it's going to be one of the major
developments, right? Or
that people look for, something that people look for in a project, even if it's not
a standard.
Thank you. One of the major standards. That's what I was looking for. It's one of the major standards. Like, what percentage is, it doesn't have to be all locked liquidity, but what is locked liquidity, so that I know there's an element of a price floor that if I come into your project, I'm guaranteed that that you can't walk away with all of it, that there's something I'll be able to get back in a worst case scenario. So there's that that insurance.
We should touch on the Grayscale article before we run out of time.
Yeah, here we go. Boom. Yeah. In fact, I got two articles back to back on that. But basically, Grayscale, talk about it, brother. Bring.
Yeah. Okay. So they're unveiling their new DeFi fund, right? Now, Grayscale, they're aiming to be a ETF, right? But we're not there yet. So, but in that process, they're rolling out a new fund, and this one's going to involve Uniswap and Aave and Compound, Curve, MakerDAO, SushiSwap, Synthetics, Yearn, UMA Protocol, and Bancor.
Here it is, right here.
Quite a little basket of DeFi protocols and projects, and shows you that not only are they interested in Bitcoin and ETH, but they're also looking at the broader space and what they can do with the DeFi investments. I'm sure they're not just buying and holding, right? We're going to be staking and lending and taking advantage of the opportunities.
Absolutely, but Grayscale, they've just been a huge pioneer in investing in blockchain technologies and cryptocurrency. They've been a huge proponent for a while, and this is just more bullish news for DeFi, more bullish news for the macro outlook for crypto. They continue to put investment behind blockchain, and now we're talking about a DeFi index. That's good news. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. That's a good find. In fact, there's another article from a different source talking about the same thing. So it's definitely a good time to be in crypto. I don't know. I mean, Grayscale. That's what I like to see. Well, not with the prices right now, but what are all the big players doing in the market? What are they doing right now? What's their move? And they're buying it up. They're creating new funds. They're investing. They're picking pennies on the dollar right now.
There was a passage in that previous article that I thought would be helpful. Is that Grayscale they're weighting these different DeFi investments by market capitalization. So they're building a basket, and then they're going to weight each member of that basket based on its market cap.
Oh, that's cool.
How much value it is in the broader space, right? And I think that makes sense. If you haven't spent time learning how to diversify a portfolio, that might be a quick rule of thumb that kind of just simplifies it for you.
And why people would be attracted to their DeFi index, because if you jump into their portfolio, they're doing all that work for you in their for the people involved in traditional finance.
Right.
Well, more bullish news. This will be a quick article. I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. French government pushes for one agency to regulate crypto across the European Union. The proposal would result in uniform regulations for digital currency across the EU. What does this do? This is just more bullish news. Regardless of the prices today, you're seeing talks about Grayscale building a DeFi fund. The French government pushing for an agency to regulate crypto. Pushing to regulate crypto is stating, I believe crypto is going to be around for a long time. So it's worth taking my time to make laws to regulate it, because it's not going anywhere. It's going to be around.
Right. We have to integrate with it, and there has to be a framework for that.
And you had a good insight.
Oh yeah. So the whole thing about the EU and any other kind of economic union is not the whole thing, but one of the big reasons why these things exist. You might ask, well, why would a government or a state, why would Germany or Italy or France, why would they want to join an EU and give up control, sovereign control over their economy, and have some other higher, some international body have some kind of say over what they do? Well, there's a benefit to being involved in these giant unions where there's one set of rules, right? So if you're and there's also a common market, right? So you can travel without a passport, and goods can cross borders without tariffs. And so it creates this common system within which people who are in it can kind of move between seamlessly without a lot of regulations, without a lot of taxes to be paid when they cross jurisdictions. So it creates like one big jurisdiction that has a common set of rules. And that's basically the argument for an EU type of an agreement, is to create these zones where a lot of opportunity exists, right? And so for them to be looking at crypto and trying to replicate that in terms of the crypto regulations, that's great. That it shows that EU is concerned about positioning themselves as a home for crypto investment and innovation.
And as we see more nations or blocks of nations. China, this kind of battle taking place. Don't use this central bank digital currency. Come invest over here. The more that can provide friendly regulation and promote adoption, you're looking at people attracting more investment in their borders. You know, really, it's a war for wealth. Really attracting wealth right now. Come over here. The sooner we can get our laws and our regulations up, the sooner you can start building your platforms and your protocols in our economy. Quick note, our buddy Jay Parr, if you're a member or if you're familiar with Paid, we've talked about Paid, the Paid network through Polygon. I believe Paid's on wants to work with Polygon. It's got that. They had that hack a while ago. Remember that with Kyle Chasey, but they recovered after that. Apparently, they got an airdrop coming soon, and also Rootkit. I'm not a tech guy. Rootkit apparently is a name for a computer software that's malicious, designed to exploit something or do something in your computer that's not otherwise allowed. So this Rootkit name is after a malicious software thing. I don't know the details. Maybe raise a red flag. Absolutely read the paper and know what's behind it first. But
do your due diligence.
Right? Absolutely, do your own due diligence.
I like to highlight that is more to promote the concept of locked liquidity.
Absolutely.
Than to say, hey, this particular project is a good investment.
And which is what we were talking about, the concept of locked liquidity, which we want to bring more attention to. Quick 3 articles that I got up here. Actually, Jacob, there's some bullish news on Ethereum and, with transaction fees and costs and what's going on. Uniswap trying to continue to make itself more competitive and more efficient. What do you have for us on this Optmistic collaboration with Uniswap v3?
Oh, yeah. So Optimistic rollups are amazing, and they're allowing Ethereum to scale. Optimism is the layer 2 solution that they're using to scale. Optimistic rollups is the technology, the name of the tech that allows it to scale. But what's great is they're finally released in AlphaNet. They're working on getting this pushed out. They're trying to get it pushed out by the end of the year. It's kind of a toss-up on when, because I feel that I would love to have it as soon as possible, but at the same time, you want to make sure your layer 2 solutions are all battle tested. You want to make sure that everything works right, and that's kind of a big bar to set with Uniswap being the platform that's going to be used on Optimism. It sets a big bar. Mm-hmm. It sets a big bar for sure. So I don't know whether or not to be expecting delays.
Well, I like the way you said that in your insights, brother, because like you said, people aren't trying to rush this. This is a new technology. When the airplane was first made, you didn't have commercial jetliners 2 years later. Okay, we're talking about projects where people are taking months and years to mature and to improve upon and to build layers. So, if you're just now learning about crypto and you're just now getting into DeFi or Ethereum or saying, I want to learn about it, but I think I'm too late. No, they're talking about having this solution ready by the end of this year. So if you're saying what's a good time to get into a crypto market, not financial advice. These are just perspectives and opinions. It's educational information only. But like I say, if you just take a snapshot and come back at the market with all this news that's coming around the world, from all these articles, do your own research. We're just pulling up information that anyone can find. We'll leave all the links to these articles every time in our descriptions below so that you can read these articles for yourself and share them with your friends and family as you find something that you like. But Bitcoin's at $31,000. Ethereum's at $1,800. Ethereum's been over $4,000. Bitcoin's been over 60 grand. I always ask someone, do you think that the price, that the market peaked and capped for all of cryptocurrency a couple months ago? Is that what you feel in your heart? If so, then move along. Nothing to see here. Move along. Nothing to see here. If that's how you feel, then go on. I think for anyone who's been around blockchain and crypto for any amount of time and understands it just a modest amount, you laugh at the notion that this isn't going to be around and that it peaked a year or two ago with all the investment and the companies that are building on it and pouring into it right now. It's like, I don't know when the price is going to rebound, when it will retrace to its previous highs and reach new all-time highs, but it's a market. They go up and they go down, and it's alive and it's healthy and it's volatile. So it's at some point, ceteris paribus, gonna happen. Right.
Well, when you're in it long enough, you see that these sorts of pullbacks are just part of the story, and that you don't get, you don't make 100% gains without having a
50%, 60% drop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. That comes with it. Like it's like Spider-Man says, big. What is it? Big power. With power comes great responsibility.
Right.
You could just reformat
big gains.
Big gains come with big
losses, big volatility, right?
Yeah,
because
just get ready for that,
Totally, because in that same vein, anyone who's held on to Bitcoin or crypto for a 3-year period has never lost. So if you're a mature investor and you don't look at this from a trading get-rich-quick scheme, you're like, you know what? I'm going to own some Google or some Apple or some Tesla for 5 years and see what happens. If you take that mentality in crypto and you just close the book and walk away from it and see where it's at, there's no one who's come away not with a major win, not just not losing.
Keep your emotions. You have to check your emotions and use ruthless strategy.
That's it.
And just be ruthless about it.
That's it.
That's all you can do.
So
and that just means buying it and then turning off your phone and closing off, turning your laptop, turning it off and forgetting it, and then waiting a few years.
We're gonna point out a little bit more. We're gonna go over a little encore here. We got J-Pars here, Jacobs here. We got the crew. So we got a little bit more to cover, and there's some more good news on Ethereum. So Jacob, without further ado, talk to us about the beneficial impact of EIP, Ethereum Improvement Protocol 1559, and where we're at with that.
All right. So with the London hard fork finally getting ready, it's awesome. You can look at the testnet and you can see Ethereum being burnt. All kinds of upgrades happening to Ethereum. They are saying that this is the equivalent to 3 Bitcoin halvings. This is Ethereum's quote-unquote triple halving event. And so something that's super interesting about this is it really is a great time to just speculate. I mean, me personally, I'm trying to pick up as much Ethereum as I can at these prices regardless. But with the London hard fork coming out, I'm very excited for the future of ETH being a deflationary asset, and even more so about how Wise is going to compound on that deflationary asset. I think with the bags that I'm holding, it's going to look really nice in the coming years.
Well, absolutely. The more burning you have, in economics 101, what happens when your supply gets halved? What happens when you burn supply? The lower ceteris paribus, the price goes up. So seeing this, when you're seeing large amounts being burned, that's built into the way the protocol operates, that's absolutely bullish, especially for people that thought one of the flaws for Ethereum was this infinite supply, which it's not. It's limited by the chain of the protocol. That whole infinite argument is infinitely ridiculous. Yeah, it's nonsense. That's like saying, well, there's infinite gold. Yeah, because as long as you go out there to the river, you can find gold. So I guess we've got an infinite gold supply, right? Even though we're limited by how much we can pull out, so it's technically not infinite. Right. Same thing with Ethereum. Even if you could continue the chain going, you can't just at any moment in time just make up Ethereum. It's limited by that protocol, by that chain.
Oh yeah.
By the code, I should say.
And now it's deflationary.
And now it's exactly. Now it's even more. Now it's super deflationary. So, yeah, man, that's a good find, and that's definitely good news for people who are holding Ethereum and holding tokens that are backed by Ethereum. And like you said, Wise token has its built-in deflationary pressures. And actually, that's the cost. So I've been trying to think about how to describe it in different ways, but you realize that's the cost of the equality. When you move over to Wise Token into a system where it's all about monetizing time. It's a time monetized Ethereum contract. By buying into that, that's that you burn inflation going into that ecosystem. That's what it is. When you come in with Ethereum into that ecosystem, that's also deflationary. A little bit gets burned and gets locked in the liquidity that protects you and protects the protocol. And the only way to access it is through that mechanism that has yet to fail, that continues to operate as it was designed, that's another thing I'm excited about is just projects. They don't have to let them do what they do for a while. Just let them function. That's the consolidation period. Just let them operate. When people see them, oh, that liquidity that's locked when these rug pulls are happening or this other stuff is going on, and that protocol actually that was built is now 1 year old, is now a year and a half old, is now 2 years old, and now you can, I don't know. I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but it's definitely bullish news. And
did you see that link on that other page?
Which one?
On the right. Go back to where you were at. El Salvador is issuing. They're going to issue their own stablecoin called the colon dollar.
Shush.
Ooh, that's interesting.
The name, I know it might be a problem with the translation, but in English, that makes me think of shitcoin.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Time out, dude. Time out. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. And you know what? To our huge fan base, we've got. I know that I'm probably one of the people on the chat. You guys, we might have 1 or 2 people on our stream right now, and that's okay because it's about quality over quantity. No, just kidding. But actually, we need to post that. You guys need to, what is it called? Take that snapshot, Ryan. Timestamp it. Go post it on for the other crypto journalists, and let them know that El Salvador's colon dollar is a shitcoin. That cannot be an accident, brother. Come on, dude. Everyone knows. Everyone knows the colon is where the shit comes, and the dollar, it's the shit dollar. If you're taking a stable coin issued by a government, is that not basically what people in blockchain and cryptocurrency think? Generally, if you look at the value between Bitcoin and Dash or Ethereum versus the China's digital yuan or another government's centralized digital currency, you would think that's called a shitcoin. The tokenomics behind it, the supply, the whole
the counterparty risk.
The counterparty risk, it goes completely contrary to the benefits of blockchain. That's the irony, is just because it's on a ledger and on a chain doesn't mean that it's equal and it's as ethical and that it's as decentralized. It's not built with the same fundamentals.
Well, it's aptly named.
It's aptly named. Let it be known that El Salvador's colon dollar is another government issued shitcoin.
Yeah, but I want to poo-poo it because if it works out and it stabilizes their dual tender system, then that's great.
No, it could be great, but still the name has to be shit dollar. I don't mean it that it could be great. It could be great. Right. It could be great.
It could be great, but
it could be great. And it's on Cardano. This is Cardano now moving from Africa into Central America and South, and moving around to other parts of the world. So let it be known that the U.S. dollar is not the only shit. It's not the only shit dollar. It's not the only shit fiat. We've got the colon dollar, and it's fine that I don't know how it operates, so I can't talk about the tokenomics. We'll definitely link the or Algorand. Ooh, that's interesting. So who knows what the tokenomics? It could be a great thing, but
marketing might need to return to this.
We might need to redo the marketing, and also. Could it ever be as good as these these like an actual Bitcoin or an actual decentralized chain, I think that you're always gonna give up some of the value and the true potential when you move on to these centralized.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
But
I
don't.
You got trust issues immediately come up.
All about that trilemma problem.
It's the trilemma situation. So I'll look more into the tokenomics behind this, and on our next week we will have some more information, because knowing about how the role of stable coins and central bank digital currencies, this is huge, because we're really talking about back in 2017, everybody was worried about how are we going to bridge traditional finance into crypto. Well, these are the bridges. This is how we're getting the prices to go up all over crypto market. How is it happening? All jokes aside, a healthy colon, okay? A healthy
for crypto.
A healthy colon dollar, a healthy colon dollar is healthy for crypto, right? We want stable coins that are healthy. So all jokes aside, El Salvador may be promoting healthy colons. And in fact, this could be the answer to shit coins. Instead of shit coins,
it's the antidote.
It's the antidote. Have a healthy colon dollar.
We'll see.
We'll find out if it's a shit coin or a strong, healthy, transparent colon dollar on Cardano. You know? We'll find out.
We'll have plenty of grins between now and then, too.
All right. We covered out the $8 trillion on network on pay sell. I mean, this is just going to show Visa, all the activity, the investment going on with Ethereum, and they're growing. Their transactions per second, the amount of activity that they can handle on their network. 8 trillion. That's a big number.
It shows you that we're not talking about black market drug sales.
No, absolutely.
$8 trillion worth of drugs being bought and sold every year.
No.
No. and I think the craziest part about this is a sizable chunk of that money is stablecoins. It's transactions that take part with stablecoins.
Yes.
Or smart contracts that lock up stablecoins.
Absolutely, brother. USDC that they made a huge contract with for Visa, that Visa is going to settle in USDC on the Ethereum network. So stablecoins have driven the growth of the crypto market.
Yeah,
and there's been some videos.
You can see a relationship between the supply of stablecoins coming onto exchanges and movements in price.
So maybe I rephrase. Let's promote. Thank you, El Salvador, for promoting a healthy colon dollar. If you're doing that on Cardano, thank you, Charles, for going out there and bridging with different governments that are people working in governments that are more open-minded to creating gateways. Because what we're talking about are fiat gateways for people to take their labor, their savings, and take it off of traditional markets and bridge it and move it over into this new world of decentralized finance and cryptocurrency and blockchain. So that's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's what it's all about.
And a good find. What else do we have up here? Quick. Okay.
End it on a happy note.
Let's end it on a happy note. What do you got here, brother?
Well, I got something that's super awesome. Chicago Children's Museums, first in the nation to accept cryptocurrency donations. So that's actually super cool. I like to see things like this. I like to see, just like how Vitalik Buterin did that sheep drop, where he took half the supply of sheep that he had and he donated it. I love seeing this. I love cryptocurrency being used to improve people's lives, improve people's situations, improve their overall well-being. And this is just one of those stories that just adds on to that layer of, it's a technology, let's use it to improve our lives.
Right. I love it. And we're a huge fan of the ethical, the equitable, and the potential that blockchain and crypto has to make the world a better place. That's one of the reasons we started this channel, and our excitement for talking about the growth and the dynamic use of this tech as it continues to unfold. And I'm going to throw another. I need to do it. I'm behind on making some videos. Just came back from a little fun, beautiful vacation in Hot Springs. So a little bit behind, but catching up. I got to throw a shout out to my boy Jeff, who is, if you want to look at NFTs and are interested in looking at beautiful artwork and being a part of a beautiful club that is using NFTs to be a part of a community that also sponsors donations as a mutual aid group for promoting charity and raising money for specific work. So check out apocalypseartclub.com. Read about the strategy, read about the social impact, how a portion of every sale supports a project dedicated to the social good. That's the potential. That's what can be done with people's art. You know, that's what artists want to do. Artists want to find a way that not only can they be appreciated for the work they create, but that it can make the world a better place. And I feel that those people who are getting into blockchain and getting into crypto, and he's got so much spiritual. I love the spiritual and the ancient. I like the art. I mean, he's been making it long before. He's just now learning about blockchain and crypto. It's all new to him. But what he's been doing for a long time is putting his heart and soul not only into socially good projects that make the world a better place, but his own digital art. So learn more about it. Go check out apocalypseartclub.com. You can see his beautiful work in NFTs on OpenSea and interact directly there. Come follow us, our channel, and our website, wisebeyondbitcoin.com. We will be adding and editing and just continuing to improve upon it and provide you links and resources to learning what's going on all of crypto. Hey, do you want to know where a lot of our information came from? A lot of our articles come right here from Crypto News. Go check out Today on Chain, News BTC, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph. We like to start out looking at nomics. There's CoinGecko, CoinPaprika, CoinMarketCap. There are plenty of sites to check out the prices going on in crypto where you can do your own research. And it's as easy as clicking on one of our sites like nomics. You go to nomics. You learned about a project in the newspaper. People read the newspaper. In a news article you read somewhere, and then you type it up. You're like, oh, that Rootkit, what's that? You type in root, you come over, you click on, and then boom, all of a sudden you're doing your own research. It's that easy. You scroll down, you hit the website. So yeah, so much is going on. This has just been another beautiful day. It's always good to see you guys, man. Happy Monday.
You too.
We got a lot
It's always
covered.
fun chatting.
I think I had some other stuff pulled up, but you know, I'll say this. I'm going to title it out. Busta Rhymes on crypto, and he gets a tweet response from Michael Saylor and others. This is just Jack Dorsey of Twitter. So this is just saying, look, pop culture and people in social media and people who, like Michael Saylor, are great minds in finance. In a serious side of business, are coming together and looking at the bullish future of not only learning about it, knowledge is power, you see here, but just promoting the growth potential, that the future of Bitcoin is positive and is bright. You know, it's a very rich, supportive, loving ecosystem where people are sharing information. That's what's good to see. People saying, hey, check out this website. And Michael Saylor saying, hey, check out all these free educational resources. So it's knowledge is power, and that's why we like to share information. This is educational channel, not financial advice. We're not trying to add to anyone's vices. And most people in the financial markets don't know about blockchain. It's all new. Blockchain and crypto is definitely a new market and a new economy. What else we got here? U.S. lawmakers don't want Olympic athletes to use digital yuan at 2022 games. That's just talking about cryptos being heavily politicized these days. We're seeing El Salvador talking about dual legal tenders, bringing in the colon dollar and having Bitcoin as a legal tender. We're talking about France and pushing the EU to regulate, and this country talking about this central bank digital currency. We're looking at this new war for wealth in the world of digital finance, and it's just funny to see it how it's being politicized. But again, for me, I look at the bullish side of this. It's like, sure, at the end of the day, it's bullish. You're seeing politicians openly talk about central bank digital currencies and crypto.
Right, and trying to create friendly regulation so they can attract investment and capital.
Absolutely,
the narrative is evolving from what is this? Ignore it. It's for drugs and criminals to it being a legitimate and it's on the cutting edge of like what governments and corporations are doing.
Our buddy Unfoldment 33 has been around for a while. He just dropped a nugget of wisdom. He said that Europe is a disaster, bro.
Okay, COVID related, yeah. I don't doubt that.
I'm sure with not just with COVID, but also how difficult it is with a European Union and then trying to pass crypto regulation. That's one of the benefits, having different countries to have to communicate and collaborate and come to an agreement on a regulation that will benefit France over. I mean, that was the problem with the EU in the past, how Greece and other countries were able to print and act tied, being able to be kind of a safety net for the rest of the European economy, soaking up all that money they were printing. And I mean, that was one of the blow-ups and the problems, the weaknesses of the EU is trying to get different sovereign nations to agree, and having one sovereign nation's actions not being paid for and put on populations of other who are more austere. You had people,
because they don't have the same exact. What's good for one is not necessarily good for the other, right?
Right, and some countries were having very liberal, loose printing, and some were being more austere. But all of the European Union was kind of soaking it up in some way together, and therefore, that anyway.
Yeah, you get a tragedy of the commons kind of thing going
exactly. Okay, we don't need to talk about this. This is old news. We talked about it last time, but it's still.
We'll talk about it later.
It's still being brought up.
It comes up again. We covered it pretty good last time.
We sure did. I think we got, man, you guys, we got some pretty good stuff overall. Where are we at today? I think we should just end it on the market recap as we exit out. But weren't we talking about, has not the sentiment been for the last few weeks, last couple months, that we're in a consolidation period? I mean, I've been seeing talk that we'll be in a consolidation period for a few weeks, maybe a few months for some time. So seeing us in this range is no surprise. We do a live stream next week and we're still around 30,000, 2021. I won't be surprised. Even if it's around
I'd be happy to be
27, 28 or 14, 15. Us being in this consolidation zone where it's trickling down and staying flat is normal. It happens. How long it's able to maintain, who knows? I return to a more long-term outlook. Pull yourself out. Look at the news going on around the world. Don't quit your day job. But this is an opportunity. Really, you don't want this to blow up tomorrow. If it blows up tomorrow, you did not have an opportunity to join at these times, at these prices, at this opportunity. And I feel right now, the longer this lasts, if all you have is a little bit every week, every month, just to experiment and join this community, join that community, this is a great time, because the wealth transfer coming from traditional finance into this new economy is unprecedented, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen or studied in modern economics and economic history. I mean, we're talking about moving trillions of dollars, the whole world financial ecosystem, and more than just the financial ecosystem, supply chain management, there's other
identity and deeds and all kinds
of other roles that blockchain plays for exchanging information and securing information. This is just absolutely revolutionary times, which is why the returns, when someone says, wow, the returns are so high, it looks ridiculous. And that's true in traditional finance. If you see people getting 100% 200%, 1,000% returns in 1 to 2 to 3 years, that is usually in traditional finance, that is a red flag. It's absolutely a red flag. But in a new growing market, in a brand new market, and it's a new economy, that it explains the volatility. It explains the path that Bitcoin and crypto has grown over the last decade, and it gives me confidence. And if someone comes and says buy now, hurry up, or it's too late, that's a red flag. But that's why, like when Jacob brought that optimistic roll-up should be up by the end of the year. When you listen to people in the space, they're not saying hurry up now. They're saying, yeah, now's a great time. It's amazing, but pick up a book, pick up a web page, learn about it, click a website, take your time. This is the perfect time to learn and get involved. It does not take a lot to catch yourself up.
That's right.
Join crypto and benefit from the growth that being in various communities can offer.
That's well said.
Yeah.
Well, if you're around tomorrow, we're going to be doing a podcast. Check out specificknowledge.net, and it'll be up probably in the evening or at least by Wednesday.
Join. It's SoundCloud. It's on Apple. Didn't Devin get it hooked up?
Yep.
Where it's on? So if you got your iPhone and you're on Apple, Specific Knowledge. If you want to really get into the weeds of how this technology is changing and the benefits and what it's doing to help humanity, help us all grow and share knowledge. Because look, what did the printing press do, right? I mean, what have libraries and card catalogs and now the internet and PDFs and books on tape, and now was it iPad, Kindles, PDFs, digital books? This is allowing for the spread of literacy. This is allowing for the spread of knowledge in unprecedented ways. And so, like you said, there's some specific knowledge that can be understood about blockchain and cryptocurrency and how it's going to help reshape and reimagine our social order and our institutions. And of course, right, I got to get a picture for Devin, but look at this beautiful mug right here. And this is Devin. This is the host and the man, the myth, the legend who started it and is running this show. He's also the author of The Decision Making Employee, and you can check that out on Amazon. So, and he's a marketer in one of the equitable minds promoting the work behind Wise Token that Jacob is representing with that beautiful hoodie that he's got on right now.
Thanks for coming, Jacob, and sharing your insights.
Yeah, brother.
And everything. It's always good chatting with you.
Oh yeah, it's always good being on, guys.
We'll definitely work to have some videos now that I'm back from vacay, and I got to have that Mother Nature hot springs detox experience, in that beautiful part of the world, in the most natural. It's a beautiful state, beautiful people. Tomorrow we've got our podcast. We're going to promote some more videos. Hopefully we'll have some videos out this week, but we'll definitely see you next week on our live stream. Hit the bell, the subscribe button, hit the like to give us that little love and support. Drop us a message if you want us to talk about our own. If you have something for us to research, we'll bring it up and talk about it. Thank you, Unfoldment 33, JPAR, Devin, our crew, and those who catch up later on, Brittany, and all those who catch up later on in the week and don't watch it live. Thank you guys for your love and support. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to catching you up with more wise economic updates in the world of Bitcoin and beyond next time. Until then,
adios.
Have a beautiful day.
Later.
Namaste. Adios.